right, first we're going to add in our mixing bowl, we're going to add 6 cups of all-purpose flour, and then we're going to add 2 cups of vegetable shortening. And then I just like to, after I add the shortening, then I'm going to put in my whisk attachment, and then I'm also going to add 2 teaspoons of salt. And then I will raise my bowl and I will just slowly start to mix this together. Now you want to make sure that you do it slowly, because if you don't start out slow, flour will jump right out of your bowl. So start slow and then slowly start to increase it just a little bit. And what you're trying to accomplish is you want to just get the flour and the shortening combined together so they have like a crumbly texture. Now you may need to stop your mixer periodically and scrape down the sides a little bit just to make sure that the shortening isn't getting stuck to the sides and that your flour and your shortening are getting combined completely together. Okay, now that our mixture has become nice and crumbly, we're going to add 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of vinegar, and 8 tablespoons of cold water. And I like to mix it up in a measuring cup nicely, and then I like to slowly drizzle it as I have my mixer running. I like to slowly pour it in there and let it just start to clump up together. Now this time as I was mixing, I noticed that my dough was beginning to be a little stickier than I like it. It needs to be a little more crumbly, not a whole lot, but bigger chunks of crumble instead of all of it stuck together. So I went ahead and added an extra half a cup of flour into this mixture and then let that mix all together. Okay, you'll notice here that after I added that flour in, as it starts to mix, it starts to loosen up a little bit and it's not all clumped together on that beater. That's what you want. So you're seeing now that I have larger chunks of loose dough. Now the dough is still fairly moist. You want it to be a decent amount of wet because it's easier to handle and it makes a beautiful crust. Okay, now that our dough is ready, we are ready to form our pie crust. This pie crust recipe makes 4 decent sized crusts. So I like to just start forming them, and I like to form into 4 even amounts. And what I like to do is I like to squish it together. And this part, I find this part extremely important. So I like to get a clump together and then I like to form it into a disc. And I'll squish it around in my hands and flatten it out. And then I press my thumb against the sides and I make sure it's a nice tight disc so that everything is smushed or smashed together on those edges. And then I will go ahead and make 4 out of this batch. All right, here is our disc of pie crust. And I like to lay it out on a silicone mat and roll it out on a silicone mat. It really, really is helpful if you have a silicone mat. If you don't have a silicone mat, try laying it out. You can use wax paper or parchment paper, but you're gonna need something underneath in order to be able to put it into your pie dish. Now I've spread a little bit of flour on my surface and then a little bit of flour on my rolling pin. And you just want to apply gentle pressure as you work your way out from the center and just gentle. If you try and push too hard, you're going to get these little crinkly spots, and just sprinkle a little more flour on it and kind of roll it out, and that helps make those spots no longer stick to the rolling pin, and it helps roll things out better. If you end up with a spot, sometimes, oh, right there, can you see? So the dough is rolled up on my rolling pin. Guess what? This is so forgiving. I just pat it back into place and then put a little bit more flour on my rolling pin and then keep rolling it out, and it just rolls out so beautifully. All right, we're about about ready to place it in our pan. I am using disposable pans this time because I am giving these pies away, but I like it to be a couple inches larger than the pan. And so I kind of hold my pan over my pie plate over the top of my dough, and then I know that if it's the right size. Then I will take my pastry mat, my silicone mat, and I will slide my hand up underneath it, and I will flop the pie dough over the top just like that. And then I'll take it and I'll gently roll it, place it into my pie pan. Now you're going to gently lift up the sides of the crust and just gently push it down into the pan. So you'll lift up, and then can you see how I just kind of gently push my hand down in? This way, you don't want to push from the center of your crust because then it's going to tear, but you want to push down from the outside. Now I'm going to slowly, not necessarily slowly, but now I'm going to take off edges of the crust until I have about an inch hanging over. And that's about how much I like. And then I'm going to start by rolling up the edge. And I just roll it up into place. And I'll switch sides so you can see it better. But I roll it up, and then I will work my way all the way around the pie crust, slowly rolling it and kind of squishing it all together. All right, now you're gonna go all the way around the crust, and you're just gonna keep squeezing and squeezing and squeezing, packing that out all together pretty tightly around the top so that you don't have any that break off or fall away. So once you get it all squeezed together nicely, you can leave it just like that if you'd like, but I'm gonna show you how to make it beautiful. All right, now we're gonna make a fluted edge. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pinch, one finger's going one way and one going the other, back and forth all the way around your crust, pinching around as you go. Pinch, pinch all the way around the pie. This is the way that my grandmother used to make pies, and then my mother also used to do it, and I just love a beautiful fluted edge. So there you go. Look, what a beautiful pie. Ready for pumpkin or pecan, my favorite. If you're not going to use your pie crust right away, you can wrap it in plastic wrap and store it in your freezer. And if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel.